This is how I made 600 exalts per map, and I'll show you how you can do it too. This method has guaranteed drops, so you don't have to worry about if you're going to make a lot of exalts or come away with nothing. I'm talking about Citadel farming, which I think is one of the most consistent and, dare I say, easiest way to get a lot of currency in Path of Exile 2. Patch 0.1.1 made it easier for players to find the citadels, and the citadels are now marked by the colored beams of light on the endgame map, and they are even visible in the Fog of War. There are 3 types of citadels: copper, stone, and iron. And this is also the order at which you should prioritize them, because copper fragments are way more expensive than the other ones at the time of this recording. To those who haven't seen the Citadel maps, they're basically the big boss maps where you need to use at least a tier 15 waystone to access. Speaking of waystones, here's a tip on how you can get more fragments per map, because you can get up to 4, which is up to 1600 exalts. You need to get the stat right here. The higher that number is, the higher the chance for these fragments to drop multiple times from the same boss. I personally got 3 fragments from a couple of bosses, and I will be trying to get that elusive 4 fragment drop really soon. To increase the waystone drop chance, you just need to upgrade your waystone. You can upgrade them similar to how you would most of the items in the game. Use your orbs, and I do recommend maximizing everything. Yes, use those exalts too, because as they say, you gotta spend money to make money. Try to get the chance to at least about 275%, or better yet, try to get it to 300% plus. When it comes to the affixes on these waystones, there are some that I try to avoid as a Death by Comet Stormweaver. The first thing is the plus elemental resistance, which just destroys my DPS. And also, plus max life and elemental threshold, I try to stay away from that too. And I try to get affixes like monsters are evasive, armored, and like things like that doesn't really affect my DPS as much as a Stormweaver. Now, it will depend on your build, obviously, what you want to get, what you do not want to get. So try to min-max that specific affixes that you may want to get to make it easier. Another way of increasing the chance of fragments dropping is to use your precursors with increased waystone drop in nearby towers. Alright, going back to the citadels, there are 3 maps and there are 3 bosses, and depending on your build, one boss might be more difficult than others. But if you're following my Death by Comets build, I find the Copper Citadel boss more difficult because it can one-shot, and if you're not paying attention, or maybe just me skill issuing in this part. Another tip for this method is when you are trying to get to the Citadel, meaning you're clearing maps towards one, try to use waystones that are as slow as possible. I'm even like suggesting go get like a tier 1 or something, because it doesn't really matter. You just want to maximize your time trying to get to those citadels, complete that citadel, and everything else kind of doesn't matter. Obviously, the tier 1 is a bit of an exaggeration. Just try to get maybe like 3 affixes, 2 affixes, and just go through the map as fast as possible. Try to not have plus rare monsters in those waystones when you're not doing the citadel maps, so that you can actually just clear them faster. We're trying to maximize the time between citadels, so the faster you clear the ones that are not citadels, the faster you get these fragments as well. For this video, I ran 15 maps and I was able to get 8900 exalts, which averages around 600 per map. And which is insane because I did not need to buy special maps. I just used what I looted. The mapping and the boss fights are fairly straightforward. The best thing about this is that GGG made it a lot easier to find them, to a point where it only took me about 45 to 60 minutes in between citadels. Again, remember, those maps that are just not that great, use them in non-citadel maps. And your frequency of finding these maps may vary, but around 600 exalts per hour is kind of nice. And again, very straightforward, you're already doing it. I highly recommend doing this farming method because it's just too good, and if you're looking to copy my build, I will leave a link in the description for the video guide. Hope you find this video informative and entertaining. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
will impede my enemy! I'll take!
So, at the eve of the end, the demon of EXALTS has finally come for me.
I can't give up. I must save my people. No, I will succeed. Reverse the polarity. I cannot let my efforts be in vain.
There is power in this object. I can feel it.
You cannot stop us. We will take the power that we deserve!
I think not, Mad Wolf.
First one's iron! Try, little rabbit!